G'day, welcome to the Valley Wrap, where we stay connected at Valley and chew over what's happening in our church and our world this week. We're going to talk a bit about the life course which is coming up and why bother with that, what's it going to look like in the current circumstances. But first, Rich, what's going on?
Well, the book club is coming back next term with the women, and Bethany has got some books there which you can see on the screen. And I think the women have been having a lot of fun reading together and chatting about them.
So some of the women have been reading through in his image, all the ways that we're called to be like God. And this semester they're going to work through none like him, all the ways that God is different to us in a really, really good way. So that's happening on Tuesday evenings, starting in the new term. So you can get in touch via replying to the e-news. There's some information there.
And our growth group's coming to an end this week. 2 weeks off of the school break, and then they'll be back again next semester as we kick into the book of Ezekiel. So looking forward to that. You read much of Ezekiel, Ben?
I'm getting into it. Yeah, it's been good.
Great book.
Getting my head around it.
If you're thinking, what am I going to read over the next 2 weeks of school holidays? Spend some time in Ezekiel.
It's a big book, so you can get a head start.
Yeah, absolutely.
48 long chapters. But
before we get into Ezekiel, we're going to look at 2 Corinthians for a moment, because in 2 Corinthians 5, the Apostle Paul writes these words. He says, "We are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as though God were making his appeal through us. We implore on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God." That's what Paul's about, seeing people reconciled to God. And he says, join us in this job. We're part of being ambassadors for Christ. We're actually his spokespeople on the earth, spokesman for the King. And so that's what we're doing with the life course. So Ben, I had a couple of questions I wanted to ask you about that life course, because first of all, what is it?
Yeah, well, the great thing about being ambassadors is that we get to do it together. So the life course is kind of a chance for us to, as a church community, be ambassadors for Christ. So it's the idea is that we're selling it as a chance to have a fresh look at Jesus, or a first look for people who have never really looked into Jesus. And what it looks like is we go through the Gospel of Mark in several sessions and look at some key passages and ask the question, what would it look like to have Jesus in my life? What difference would it make? And particularly, I guess, to follow him on his terms. Trying to get our head around Jesus and who he is and what he wants for us, and therefore, what does it actually look like to be a Christian and have Jesus in my life?
Yeah. Now, Ben, we are in the middle of a pandemic.
We are.
Why are we running the life course during lockdown?
What a great question. Well, I think it brings challenges, that's for sure, but there's actually opportunities at the moment, isn't there? Because life has just been thrown upside down, and I think it's a season when people are open to reflecting and asking questions and sort of recalibrating in life a little. There's certainly been pressures and tensions and challenges for people, which actually mean people, I think, more open than other times potentially for having these conversations, seeking.
There's a lot going on, isn't there? Like the pandemic is certainly coming back in some of the suburbs, and our great flagship airline Qantas is sacking workers and shutting down planes. So there's a lot of change happening, isn't there? So good time to be actually reflecting, what's my life about?
Yeah.
So how's it going to work, Ben? What's it going to look like? What's a typical evening for running life online?
Yep, so we're going to be doing it on Zoom. We're going to be doing it on Monday evenings at 7:30 till 9 is the basic idea. So, the idea is there's going to be an opportunity to invite someone to your home, and you could tune into the Zoom meeting with them, so they're not doing it on their own, or you could be in separate places and have a chance to have a sort of a breakout room discussion with them. But basically, we're going to do it on Zoom, so there'll be some discussion, there'll be a talk. I'll be sharing a talk from part of Mark's Gospel, and we work through some questions. So that there's 5 questions. There are: why is the good life so hard to find? Is God not powerful, or does he not care? What are some reasons not to follow Jesus? And why did he die? Is there life after death? So they're the 5 questions. And basically we have a talk, and then we have some chance for discussion. So you might just have someone in your home discuss with them, or we could be, depending on how many people and how they're willing to be involved, have breakout room sort of discussions, and then come back together for some Q&A. So we've been using Slido on Sunday morning, so we're hoping to use Slido to be able to submit questions anonymously. that people might have. So it's a chance to chat with your friend about these things. You can say, oh, what did that idiot Ben say? Wasn't that ridiculous? And you can disagree with me. They can disagree with me because I'm not in the room. And you can talk about these topics, but also you can have people have a chance to ask their questions. You can hear other people's questions. And so it's a chance for us to kind of chew on these things together.
Sounds great. Can online be actually better, Ben?
Well, I reckon it actually could be, Richard. Because, sometimes, usually we run the life course on a Sunday morning. So basically for someone to come to the life course, they have to come to church. And that's a big step for a lot of people. This means you can just click on the link, stay in the comfort of your lounge room or your friend's lounge room, and you can be involved with a relatively low kind of commitment risk factor. There's certainly going to be people, I think, who are going to find that a bit odd coming onto Zoom, to this video conferencing thing. I don't know. I'm going to click the button and not know who's going to be there and who's going to be looking at me. But I think for some people, and I've heard already some people saying, I think my friend would actually find that much easier than coming to
travel
church.
to a building. And
that's right. You don't have to meet all these weird people and stand up
home
and sing songs and So it also means that there's people, there's people that are just busy every Sunday morning and they're not yet at the point of seeing the value of looking into Jesus such that they want to cancel their sport or whatever it is. A different time means a different opportunity. If people have got kids, they can put the kids to bed, then come and tune in. So there are opportunities. Yeah.
Terrific. I think one of the strengths we've got of having Ben working with us is that he has a great ability to communicate the gospel. Ben's pretty much written a life course from scratch, and he has a way of talking about the issues where people are itching and showing what the gospel has to say to those issues. So I want to endorse it. Come along, be part of it. And if you wanted to be part of, get involved with it, go to the Facebook, Valley Facebook page, and you can find the details there and get involved. Make sure you're part of it.
And stay tuned for a little promo video that we're going to do coming out soon.
Can't wait.
So just to reiterate, the book club's coming up next term. So get in touch via the e-news, and also growth groups taking a break. But please be praying for and inviting if you're at that point for our life course coming up on the 13th of July on Monday evenings. See you on Sunday.
That's a wrap.